Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some more Path of Exile, and back in the Toucan Race, I've decided I am going to start running my tier 6s. I do have a couple of tier 5s still outstanding, but I'm going to start running the 6s, and also even the 7s. I'm going to start going more to a vertical progression approach, and then I can get them later. I'm also going to pick up, at this point, I'm going to put a castle and damage taken and temporal chains set up on my gloves, and that is just going to be something that will provide. Actually, maybe let's just have a quick think on terms of is temporal chains. I can't even remember if it's. I may actually go with enfeeble instead. So no, temporal chains is it is a green gem, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stick with blue, and let's go with enfeeble. That just causes monsters to deal less damage to me. I'll have to just play around with that, work out what the appropriate levels are for both of those gems. But I feel that they'll provide a decent defensive boost. In any case, what I really want to get to is get the waste pool done. If I had an arcade map, I'd run it, but look around trying to get the waste pool which comes off Peninsula. When I've got that, that'll mean that I'll have Elder on the Atlas. So I'm going to start by running my 2 Peninsula maps, then after that I'm going to juice these up a little, and then after that I will go and run my physical reflect can fuck off. And then after I've done these 2, and hopefully I'll get the waste pool out of them, I will then start just running random tier 6s. So in any case, here we go. Going to take a little bit of damage there. That enfeeble will come off and potentially provide a significant debuff to the enemy that triggered that hit. Enfeeble can definitely level up. I'm not sure how far I can level it. For the moment, I'm not going to level castle and damage taken. I'll get temporal chains up, and stinging doubt. That's one I already have. We'll just verify that, but I'm pretty confident it's the bottom right one. Stinking doubt. Phantasmagoria, that's the other tier 6 that I needed. So there were 2 that I wanted. That's one of the 2 of them. I will certainly take that, and quite happy to see it. Feeble, I am not leveling castle and damage taken at the moment. I will keep going until I outlevel it, and then at that point I will... until I outlevel CWDT, and then I'll reconsider how Enfeeble is looking. I just need to look at the numbers on it. There's something there is doing nasty attacks, but anyways, it's gone. Temporal Chains would have the advantage of making my poisons last longer on monsters, but I think that Enfeeble just provides so much more defense when I'm a bit squishy. Had a drop. It's just tier 3. I'll take it. What's the item level on this? It's level 30, so I can still definitely level it. Get another couple of levels as well. Alright. Set off this Legion encounter and see what we've got around here. We have absolute trash down that way. I've gone the wrong way. One side is often good and the other side's shit. I'll deal with gems after this fight. Ooh. That's a gem that I'm just leveling on the off chance I decide to use it later. That's just a tier 3, unfortunately. There was some reason I recently wanted, but I can't remember what it was, and I don't think it still applies. I think it may have been able to 3 for 1 into a tier 4 that was being stubborn. Okay. We'll have to assess that. So that's probably now minimum level 35. It's still triggerable. We see there. I could also use projectile weakness or despair. Despair would be the other good choice, much more offensive choice. Oh, that's interesting, that dropped rare. Okay, so that's the full circuit of that map done. And we shall now run the other peninsula, which has the boss doing a bit more scary things. So that is actually 2 separate cast when damage taken setups I've got at the moment. I just need to figure out the right level for each of them. Maybe I only need one. I'm back to manually casting my stone golem, and he seems to be pulling his weight pretty well. Normally I would not be using a stone golem this late in a league, but he's doing well. I don't think there's anything else that really synergizes with crits either. Oh, sorry, with poison either. In the absence of Corralito's signature. If I had Corralito's signature, then I'd use the crit. I'd be playing crit, but I'm not going to get Corralito's signature in solo self-found. I think it's a tier 2 rarity or something like that. And pop goes the boss. Nothing at all this time in the way of map drops, but there's still plenty of trash left. Now at this point, I'm going to level that and see what the status is. 36. 38. Okay, I can probably actually... Oh. Crashing lots at the moment. Not even uploading at the moment either. $39. That means I need to level cast when damage taken, and I need to make sure that I level the right cast when damage taken, which is annoying. I can't level steel skin. So 44. 44, so that's right. 40, 39. Okay. At this point, I'm not going to level either cast when damage taken or enfeeble any further. And I'll go around the other way. One option I'm not using here is the option of augmenting these maps with bloodlines, which will add more magic monsters to the zone. I did consider it, but bloodlines isn't as strong as it used to be. Oh, wow! Poison was doing its work after I got splattered, but we'd have to have a look at the footage of that to see how I got ganked. Didn't think that would look like a dangerous pack at all. It's just it's just a massive pack, that's why. It was all white monsters, but there were just so many of them that they added up to something. Well, don't underestimate them. Otherwise you'll end up losing 15 minutes like I just did. And a not irrelevant amount of XP now. Thicket map is just a tier 2, so it's of no real relevance to me at all. Nothing good there. I'll just take these, that's all I'm going to get. Oh. I'm sort of happy to see Regal Orbs dropping so much. They're really useful, even though I'm not currently doing any crafting and don't really have any plans for it. Oh. Thinking strong boxes there, so immediately warp away from the chest that I didn't need to because it's not guarded. So this is the cast when damage taken that is connected to Enfeeble. At the moment, I'm not interested in leveling that. I need to actively suppress that leveling notification because otherwise I will accidentally click it. So right click that to make it go away. And let's hit this breach, but be ready to get the hell out of here. Zoff. And that's the other one that I wanted to suppress from leveling up any further. Sort of Zoff is interesting. They're not really worth picking up in the Trade League at all. That's the case for all the Breachstone Splinters that are not Chaeola. But because they drop clustered, they tend to get left on filters. Why am I still running around here? There's only like 23 monsters left. Okay, well, I have not succeeded in getting the map that I needed out of that, but oh well. Minions still fight them. Nah, there's nothing on that that's good. And maps. At this point, that is what we were looking to do, so it's time to start on the 6s now. 6s, we have lots of them, and I'm thinking that perhaps the best choice to do first be the ones that are connected to entirely missing tier 5s. Well, Primordial Pool is connected down to Arcade. Don't have Waste Pool. I think it's pretty marginal a decision. This one, Promenade, if I have it, I'll do it first. Don't even have it, so it's a moot point. Okay, let's run the easiest. Vulnerability is horrible. Monster damage, accuracy, reduced curses, ailments. I just gotta be careful in this one. The boss doesn't synergize with the vulnerability, so. Atoll's a map I'm surprised I'm not seeing more people do for farming legions, given that it seems always to be at the start. It may not quite always be there, but it almost always is at the start. It's available as a tier 6, an 11 and a 16 map. Vulnerability means I'm taking more physical damage and I'm very susceptible to bleeds. Makes certain exiles very dangerous. Particularly Xandro Blooddrinker, and also these guys. That's a bit better when my Mana Flask is up for as long as it is on this build, and when my Mana Flask has bleed immunity on it. Something hitting me really hard there. Was it an Exile? Nightmare case would have been to get Betrayal in here. Oh, that's the Yatsuri one. Alright, that's all I'm going to open. Yes, so let's get position for the fight. I'd just be warned with that Metalsmith's gift card, because it looks a lot like the Doctor in terms of its artwork. There are some obnoxious people who are scamming with it at the moment in the trade leagues. So if you're trying to buy a Doctor, they will attempt to swap it over. They'll put a Doctor in the trade, then they'll swap it over, then they will reopen the trade, and the second time it will be the Metalsmith's gift. Needless to say, you don't want to be fooled by that, because it will be a very expensive lesson. If you do get anyone like that, make sure to report them on Reddit, call them out with... crashing again. But call them out with evidence of their name. Ideally video footage if you can manage it. So, really having some connection dramas at the moment. I should be safe at this point. I disconnected in a pretty harmless looking location. And yep, I was safe. Intriguingly, this time I kept my minimap, whereas sometimes I don't. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Sure, someone may know. If you do, put it in the comments below. Probably something really obvious. So the first one of these is the first one of the attacks from this boss is always a big sort of pile of water coming at you. The second one is the Ice Nova. The Ice Nova will one-shot squishy builds, so you do not want to get hit by it ever. First one, however, you can tank it, but it will hurt you. As long as you've got capped cold resist, you'll survive it. It's like a watery glacial cascade. Okay, that's another map down. No new map tiers dropping. Actually, no map returns at all in there. What have we got now? I'll run them. No, let's run the maps that I would prefer to see drop early on. Let's set Elks again. Early weakness. I'm fine with that, aren't I? Yeah, I'm close enough to fine. Monster Life, which stacks with the 40% from everything's fine. Well, damage igniting kind of does hurt though. I'm curious to see if that stacks multiplicatively or additively, the life. It should be multiplicatively because they're both more mods, but it says there that it's additive. I may actually bug report that because I don't think that's working as intended. I think it should be times 1.34 and times 1.4, which would be harder than this. Now the boss of this is a bastard when you're undergeared. I should just probably focus on dodging him when I'm fighting him, and letting my Agony Crawler do the hard lifting. Of course means I need to keep him at 40 virulence or close to it. I probably shouldn't have opened that until I checked where the boss was. Oh, those are always a lot of fun. That was interesting. My cast when damage taken triggered on the weaker mobs there, unfortunately. It meant that it wasn't available for the harder boss. Because I've kept cast when damage taken in Feeble so low in level, they do actually go off. They will go off a lot. Tunnel Trap is here. He fires multiple projectiles, which is evil. Dungeon map, that's a tier 7. Nice. I do want to run that. And run it early. I'll explain my rationale after killing Tunnel Trap. Okay, so the reason for that is that when I'm running tier 5s, I'll have a chance of getting tier 7s, which can then be swapped around by virtue of the Zana Horizon Orb mod. And that's going to be my new process, is just going to be vertical progress, so just run my highest map all the time. Or pretty much all the time. It means that when I'm running other tier 5s, I can get 7s off the Just as now I can get, if I run a tier 4, I can get a 6, which will only be Mud Geyser or Atoll at the moment, but that's fine. Right, there's a tier 6, which will then can then either be run as is, hoping to get the adjacent 7s, or can be horizoned away. One or the other. I think I own enough 6s that I probably won't need to horizon yet. Instead, I'll just fill in gaps near the end. Three monsters remain, that's not worth fucking around with. Alright, so I'm alcheming this. This is my last alchemy that I've got available, so switches and spawn, damage. Ooh, huge amount of resistance to poison sucks, but anyways, I can deal with it. Now, tier 7s are only a small upgrade on 6s. The boss of this is a pretty hard hitter though. There's a really cheap way that I can use my Regal Orbs to roll trivial maps towards the end of my progression when I start getting the maps that are really difficult, and that is to use transmutations to get a single mod map that is really, really easy, then just to throw a Regal on it and hope that I don't hit a bad reflect. That's something I may end up doing when I get to like tier 15s, if I have to do any of them. It's a really cheap strategy, and it does hammer your loot, but it does also get you your Atlas bonus, which is a goal here. One thing I didn't mention is that Sea Witches in their spawn is one of the very few map mods that makes a map objectively easier, except when it is coupled with Beyond. At that point, because it adds so many monsters to the map, albeit very easy ones, it ends up being chaotic. 8 mod maps with that combo are insane. Just monsters everywhere. Haven't changed my mind on Elva. Don't expect I will. Alright, this is the boss from memory. Yep. This is a pain in the ass boss, this one. Get my escape portal up. This is a very hard hitter. Mud Geyser, that's a not quite refund. A 60% refund. That's my first tier 7 down. This is a terrible layout for monoliths, unfortunately. That's just because the map is so hard to navigate that you can't often find a lot of things to kill. You'll see them beyond walls that you just can't path around. Okay, that is basically everywhere covered. There's a couple of spots we didn't get to, but they don't really matter. Let's just get old war gels here out. And if we can get this one, we will as well, but I don't think we will. Nah. Faster attacks is 19, that's good to see. Berserk Fury can possibly one-shot me. Must be treated with respect. That's a blue pack, I will go to them, even though they're a couple of screens away. Is it in here? No. It's further around this way. And I wasn't rewarded for it. Okay, Primal Incubator. Oh, that I think that bricks, doesn't it? A feeling that that is going to come out as absolute rubbish because I think it will come out and immediately be scoured. But anyways, we'll see. Now, I don't think I've had an arcade map drop, have I? Negative. So at this point, I'm just going to keep running my 6s, but I'll run ones I haven't run. Oh, no, I will not keep running 6s. I'm going to go to the Delve Mines. I have a lot of Nikopu to go through anyway. Monsters are actually dying fast now, and that's just, again, Merciless Labyrinth. Fast enough that I feel like I can test a couple of the side passages out. Definitely need those resonators. Really hard to keep in stock in solo self-found, at least early on in the delve. Okay, that's a dud. Lost loot is never a good node. The stuff got lost for a reason. Alright, I'm now down to just a singleton flare, so I've got to be quite careful. I'm going to stay with the cart. Try to stop using shift as much as I am. Taking a wrong path there. Caught up without using my flare, which was... Oh! Yikes! Don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Okay, so this is the pop 4 nest thing. And each nest you pop summons a whole lot of monsters to fight you. These monsters knock back as well. Oh no, don't do this to me, not when I've just completed the zone. It's doing this to me. Frustrating. Oh, and I got killed as well. Yeah, that was bullshit. Didn't roll back anything, no. No, couldn't have rolled me back if I got killed. So I got killed, but I didn't get credit for the zone, which actually is beneficial because that's worth going back to. I'll just do the Azurite first because I'm totally out of the stuff. This is a single Azurite encounter in just a tier 2 map equivalent, so it should be pretty easy, but just so many blue monsters that don't want to underestimate it. Yeah, and we came here for alchemies, we're getting alchemies. Poor little stone golem doesn't hold up very well in here. I've already popped the side passage reward node in here. It will not respawn. The game remembers what you've done in the way of side zones. Tanking that with all flasks active there ends up being quite a bit more reasonable to just stand your ground. Maybe not that time. Alright, that's the end of that zone. Pock riches. Pock riches drops things related, or biases heavily in favour of currencies that are related to sockets. Abandoned riches is just the normal loot. Doesn't seem to have anything good in it ever. I mean, it can go up to regals and chaos, but nothing beyond that. I think that's it, isn't it? That's those two. Oh well, that was worth the trip. Now at this point, we've got two choices. We can either go the easy way or the long way. I'll just go back to town first. See if there's any upgrades worth buying. That one is. And I'm saving up. I want to save up for Darkness Resist, but I'll take this for now. I can't even buy that flare, but I'll do the long one. It's getting me into tier 3 equivalent delves. Should start seeing XP again on this one. I'll pour myself a drink before going down there. Not beer, unfortunately, at the moment. Caffeine is the drug of choice tonight. I'm not doing any deep side passages in this run. Because I've got a feeling that I attempted this and either disconnected and died near the end of it. And as a result, I think I've already broken open the fractured walls in here. Once you break open one of them, the entire path is permanently marked as everything on it broken. I could be remembering that wrong, but that's the way I believe it works anyway. I have two two thingaminis about to pop. Incubators. I don't like them popping in the delve, because if you die, you can't get back into anything. You'll notice I'm just running straight into those things because I don't care about them, because they're just so harmless. Those EMPs used to be terrifying when Delve started. Unfortunately, they got over nerfed. They needed a nerf at the time because there were bugs with flares. But when they were fixed, I think that now that we should get the original EMPs back. They kind of forced you to throw a flare. It wasn't discretionary to throw a flare when you were EMP'd. You just had to do one, otherwise you were in real trouble. Okay, that's my Azurite pop. Alchemy. Again, one of the things that's so good about these zones, they help you sustain all sorts of mapping currencies, chisels, alchemies, and the like. I keep picking up those stupid scrolls of wisdom without remembering that they're basically close to useless. I'm gonna run this one because the possibility of getting an astral or eldritch jewelry node. Those basically are the nodes that give you a shaper or elder ring or amulet. Already had one of them so far, and I'm okay. Well, I don't seem to have got one, but that's fine. This is a good. This is a damn good XP node, actually. Just spawns so many monsters. It's crazy. Alright, this Titan can one-shot from memory, or very close to it. Maybe not in tier 3, but I'm gonna respect him. Did he just pop? Oh, okay. He does die very easily. Abandoned Jewelry and Twisted Jewelry will both be trashed here. See, these are all corrupted. Corrupted white items are about as bad as you can get. How am I for space? I'm running out of inventory, so let's go back and vendor. Hello. Am I gonna pop on this one? I'll take a chance with it. Bunch of scarabs are awesome. They're not so. They're not going to be so awesome in this league that I'll be absolutely gutted if I were to die and miss out on it. Even if it was a Sulphite Scarab. It's like that'd kind of suck, but not be a punch in the guts or anything. That was a big hit though. Gotta get out of that. Okay, what do we got here? Something's hitting really hard and I'm not sure what it is. Something with a projectile. And I think... Oh no, the Scarab hasn't arrived yet. It was going to. These will all be trash. Don't even know why I'm clicking them. I don't think there's anything that can drop in them. Interest, they've got resistance to poison and bleed, to poison specifically, which is annoying for me, but not devastating. Reduces my DPS, but it's not a... It's not some overwhelming amount. Where's the Scarab? I can actually safely get around to looting it. That's only... Everything in the nodes is trash. But in any case, we will head back to the mining encampment. Check what we've got. Nothing in the way of upgrades, so nothing that I care about. So let's have a quick look how we're looking. 3 alchemies now. That's enough to get back onto mapping. I think my goal at the moment is primarily to advance through mapping. And the delve will be a secondary thing that I'll do as I need alchemies. So, highest tier map that we have available. Exile's alley weakness is fine, speed is nasty, point blank. Do. And I'm going to check if I need any prophecies. And pick one up. That does nothing. There's one of the 2 maps that has Malachi as a boss. This has the top half of the Malachi fight, but without piety. Rendering it pretty easy. Especially because he has very low health. And we have Einhar. I just heard 2 maps drop. Oh, there's a tier 7 as well. Well, as a refund. That could happen more often. I do believe that was just a lucky drop too. I don't think there was anything, some event that caused that. It was just one of those rare events. I just set off a... Oh. No talking till safe. Enchanted helmet. So that was a cartographer themed box, which is a pretty rare one, but oh, rip. Pass. Oh, well, that just came out of nowhere. I didn't even have a clue that was there. So the thing that made that so dangerous was that this is an alley weakness map, and I don't think I'm quite. No, I am kept on fire. Okay. Partial revenge, but that was nasty. Was not expecting her. She should be, because it is a +2 Exiles map. Okay. Inferno Ball. Thing always scares me. Never sure if it's a one-shot mechanic or not. I think I preferred the slower version of it that used to exist when it was more dangerous, but was also more dodgeable. Oh, that's the bleach flask. I like that flask a lot. One of my favourite uniques. Certainly one of my picks for most underrated. I call it the bleach flask because it's like drinking bleach. It poisons you when you, well, it deals damage to you when you drink it. Don't drink bleach, kids. And if you do, damn well don't tell anyone that I gave you the idea. Alright, we have our red beast, so 2 mods, something like 30 times normal rare monster hit points. Yeek. That's a lot of damage then. What was that Essence of Delirium from? Oh, that was the random item. Hey, that was cool. Okay. That's 2 deaths on this map. That's not cool. So 26 charges. That's 123%. That's almost divine perfect. No, I need my current flask. Also, this provides almost no mana. It's very limited as a mana flask. It is just for the charges. Alright, well that's Einhar's mission done. That quote always makes me think of Einhar, like, working out various analytics somewhere. Like sitting on a bench. Counting the cost of T-Rex food or whatever, or Toucan Rex food or whatever. For a month. Alright, well I'll take that Lightning Shrine for use on the boss. And the blue pack that'll be in there with him. Of course, I gotta really fear this guy. I forget how nasty multiple projectiles is on him. Not for the Rune Flare traps, but for the little slugs he throws at you. He's down, and he drops something. What's that amulet? Hieroglyph's toe. Lightning damage from enemies hitting you is lucky. Nearby allies. Ah. Essence of Delirium will definitely go back with me to the Trade League. Don't think... Oh, let's just have a look, see what does it do again. Oh, Decay on a weapon. Ooh. Ooh, that's so strong. %40 increased damage with poison on a quiver. Okay, I think I'm going to use this. Not on this quiver specifically, but on the first Shaper quiver I get, I'm going to use it. 80 or higher Shaper quiver. Now we are doing the highest tier map that's available, so that will be this residence. Might be a little... Ooh, minus max is nasty. Delete. Damage is lightning. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Do you want to know, what is Waste Pool adjacent to again? Laboratory, which is off Phantasmagoria. I'll keep that in mind. We're on Phantasmagoria next. First room's always empty in here. I think that was an Exile, was it? No. You can tell if there's an Exile because there's a full set of loot, like one item for every inventory slot dropped. The zone drops Dapper Prodigy Divination. No talk till Exile dead. Actually, I'm not sure of the name of the card. There's a divination card for an item level 100 armor that drops in here from memory. 6 linked. Could be wrong on that front. Ah, shit. Nah, I'm outclassed by that breach. I'm not going to try it. Just going to let that breach collapse without, hopefully without it taking me with it. I think that's gone now. No, it hasn't. Oh. Oh. Can you collapse now? Yes, you have. So I felt that it was a risk opening that thing. It was, but it wasn't a risk I paid for. With all, except for losing 15 seconds or so. Which is 1/60th of a death. Okay, so here's a couple of things I want to kill. Tough Guardian, it's an interesting name. And then Tough Lurch, I can't get him. Tough Luck, I guess. Oh, oh. Flee, 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 flee. Keep fleeing. And drink a pot now. So Grim Limp here, I immediately mispronounced his name as Grim Gimp. Okay, I did not think I was in any danger there. Popping around, throwing something in. Be very cautious in that fight. And again, I keep doing that. I don't need to open that menu for that. Anyways, here's our here's our Tough Guardian, who is well named. Certainly, that's his charge attack. He must dodge or die. Shrieking of Wrath, Screaming of Torment. Reasonable loot from it, but not enough to warrant getting killed for it. But anyways, I'll take the loot. That was my clone just getting killed. This thing is insane. What's his mods? Fast attacks. Nothing really looking terrifying on him. Okay, so let's let him have his tantrum. I don't think he can do two of them in a row, or can he? Oh, that was insane. Guy? Was a monster with no specific mods on him. It was just a damn powerful rare. Oh well, that did not drop corrupted. Oh, may actually just be very good. So 54 life. And sweet fuck all else, really. This has the life. Fire resist will never hurt me. But mostly that implicit. 5% fizz reduction is really nice. A lot of ways it's the defense that Armor wishes it was. Exile. Trapper Exile. That was an Exile. Okay, no. Screaming of Envy, that again would be corrupted for profit in Trade League, but don't think I can be bothered. Oh, forgot what Envy does. Eek. Shit. I'll keep kiting for a little bit, get my flasks back. My golem up. It's enough charges now. So Envy summons you to him. When he sets it off, it's a... Ooh. Finding the random caustic arrow very good on anything with proximity shield. Alright, it's up to the top level, which is a half level, and then has the boss in its own sort of section as well. Elks are certainly dropping again. Once you get a big pool of them, you don't seem to have any problems with them. But early on in a league, until that point, it certainly can fall very, very flat on Elks. One of those things where you do get enough of them, but variance is dominant over small sample sizes. Plus early on, you're vendoring all of your, you're not vendoring all your uniques. Most, wearing again. Resist and life. Shit, move speed. Now that's 10% increased attack speed, but that's nice, but it's not enough to make up for the otherwise low stats. That's an Agorod piece. I'm not going to get a full set of them. That would be too much luck to get access to a Vinkdar square. Unfortunately, we went backwards on maps in that one. I think this is going to be the last amulet I'll ever equip in this league, unless something breaks with my resists in future. This is due to a future upgrade. Why has this not got another prefix on it? I think I can put a prefix that's useful on it. That's why it doesn't have another prefix on it. Oh yeah, of course you don't have anything yet. Okay, now back to the highest maps that we've got. Can actually stop this recording.